And welcome back. This video is just a continuation of the preparation work for the fuel tanks. As you can see, starting to work on the ribs themselves, getting them deburred. And then we'll continue on getting the stiffeners ready that will go in between the ribs on the bottom side of the tanks, on the inside of the tank. And basically just a lot of prep work, and this is going to be another slow kind of dry video, and I apologize for that. I've said from the get-go that I'm going to record and post just about everything that I do, but I did go through and edit some of the repetitive parts of this video. So if it's not your thing to watch preparation work and deburring and all that, by all means, see what the next video has, and hopefully it'll be a little more exciting. But I'll try to talk to as much as I can what I'm doing, and also kind of where I'm at in the project and kind of what my ideas are going forward. But to that effect, like I said, I've got about 90 to 95% of the empennage complete. I got to do some fairing work and some fiberglass work to get that done, but that's going to have to wait. So now working on the fuel tanks, I decided to tackle these first. Kind of the idea is that while I have the extra motivation from the new kit arriving and all of that excitement, might as well tackle the worst part of the wing build. And in my opinion, that's the fuel tanks. So right here you see me rounding off the forward end of the ribs. You do that to get rid of the crease or the edge that could cause creasing in the skins, and you do that with all the other leading edge ribs. You did that in the, I believe it's a horizontal stabilizer, and some of the other components. But going through, like I said, I think that after talking to several folks, the consensus was that the fuel tanks are definitely the most dreaded aspect of the wingtips from what I could tell. And I had initially thought about getting them done for me, but I started talking to some folks and thinking about it more. I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm going to try it myself. So as I explained in the last video, if I mess it up, it's a simple matter of getting new parts, and then I'll send it out to have someone build for me. But I'm going to go ahead and try it the first time and see how it goes. So this is a tool that I haven't used very often. It's a dimple, it's a dimpler that you use your blind riveting tool for, and it's for places that you can't get your squeezer in or any other form of dimpling. And this is the first time I used it. I was not impressed. It didn't pull very well. It didn't dimple very well, and I mean it's a soft metal that the tool is pulling on to try to squeeze everything together, and it didn't do a whole lot of good, but it at least provided some kind of dimpling. We'll see how it looks once everything's put together. I may end up trying to figure out another way to maybe use my vice grip dimplers, something toward that effect, but wasn't all impressed with that tool. So now I'm making the stiffeners that go in between the ribs on, I believe these are the ones that go on the bottom of the fuel tanks in between the ribs. And they're just basically they distribute the weight and stresses in the tank laterally to get to basically distribute the weight to the ribs themselves, so that your skins don't flex so much, and provides a little bit extra support in between the ribs. Basically they come in a long piece, and you cut them down to size, and then you also have to cut angles out of two of the sides to I'm not sure the particular nature or why you have the angles there, but basically you just draw a line from the marks that are on the side of the pieces, and then cut those off, and then you'll go through and you'll deburr and smooth all the edges out. But there are a lot of them. So this is one of those parts of the film editing that I took the liberty of fast forwarding through a lot of the repetitiveness of this. So I apologize. There's still quite a bit of just doing the same thing over and over, but again, this is one of those videos. So other than that, my Piper Cherokee is still sitting on the tarmac at my airport, still broke. I have to get a new cylinder and new piston head for the number 2 cylinder, and I just haven't done it yet. It's getting really hot, and it's only going to get hotter. But I don't really have a whole lot of intention of flying during the summer anyway, just because it's 120 degrees, and it's that much worse when you're sitting inside the cab of an airplane waiting to take off, and you can't get any airflow, and you're just cooking. So I may end up just letting the airplane sit over the summer and then get it repaired toward the end of summer and get it ready to go before the next fall when it cools down a little bit. But for now, it's gonna just sit there, and we'll get it taken care of. But it may not be for a little while. But also, while it's down, I think I am going to go ahead and take the prop off and send it down to a shop down in Tucson and have them retwist the prop from a 69-inch pitch to a 71-inch pitch. I'm fairly certain that I looked, and that's still within the specs for the Cherokee, and so I think that's what I'm going to go do. So back to what I'm doing here. Once you get the stiffeners made up, then you scuff the mating surface to where it's going to attach to the skin, and that's so that when you put the Pro Seal down, it has a better surface to adhere to. And then you dimple all of the holes again for the skins, for the number 40 holes. So basically, the going forward is going to be getting all the ribs ready, getting all the stiffeners ready, and then marking. I'm going to use painter's tape and mark where the ribs will be in the skin, scuff that up, get it ready for mating with the Pro Seal, and then dimple the skins to make for the flush mounted rivets. And then it's going to be very close to the point where I'm going to start using Pro Seal. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm probably going to have to order at least 1 or 2 more tubes. I've got the I believe it's a 6-ounce tube of Pro Seal, and it's essentially in a tube, and it's 2 parts. So you got to mix the 2 parts together, and it tells you how to do that. You got to cycle and stroke the plunger several times, and it tells you how many times, and you got to twist it as you're stroking in and out of the tube and all this kind of stuff, and all that to mix it up. And then you basically put it in a caulking gun, and then you can have an applicator and be able to apply a pretty smooth amount or a steady stream of Pro Seal, and then you kind of spread that out with a toothpick or not a toothpick, but a what do you call those little wooden sticks, and a popsicle stick. Thank you. And anyway, so all of that just to make sure that you get a really good seal. And looking at the forums, there's a post on, I believe it was the Vans Air Force forums, that a gentleman basically described exactly how he has done his tanks, and it sounds like a really good way to approach it. But basically, he applied the Pro Seal, put all the components inside, clecoed every single hole, and let it sit and kind of set. And then once it was set enough, he removed a cleco, would put a dab of Pro Seal on a rivet, put it into the hole, and I guess a wet application, I think it was called, something toward that effect. But then he would rivet the skins together that way, one at a time, and obviously you still apply Pro Seal to the back end of the rivet and make sure it's a good seal. But he said it worked really well, so we'll try that and we'll see how it works. So kind of looking forward to it. It's I'm anticipating it to be really messy, but I think it'll be an interesting challenge. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let this run out here. I think right now I'm working on the Z attach points or Z attach plates. Get these again, get them deburred, and then we'll start attaching nut plates to these and going forward. So like I said, I think I'm going to let this video run out here. I'm going to get back out into the garage and do some more work on these fuel tanks. And again, thanks for watching. If you can, hit that like button for me, and we'll see you next time around.